The Nikon ZR has arrived, and the silence around it speaks louder than any press release ever could. In a world obsessed with megapixels and specs, Nikon has quietly dropped something that feels almost poetic, a machine not just built for creators, but carved for storytellers. This isn't just another camera in the Z lineup. It's the moment Nikon finally steps into the future without abandoning its soul. From the very first moment you hold the ZR, it's clear this isn't business as usual. The body feels refined, dense, and purposeful. That signature Nikon grip molded not just for comfort, but for control. It's as if the designer sat down and said, "Let's build a tool that disappears in the hands of an artist." And somehow they did. This camera doesn't fight you. It collaborates with you. Every button press, every focus shift, every shutter click feels deliberate, confident, and beautifully tuned. But the real magic begins when you hit record. The ZR doesn't just capture an image, it captures feeling. Its redesigned sensor and color pipeline have been co-engineered with a new generation of image processing that Nikon calls RED branded. That phrase might sound like marketing fluff until you actually see the footage. The difference isn't about sharpness or resolution. It's about texture. Every frame feels alive. Every shadow breathes. Every highlight whispers rather than shouts. There's a cinematic softness to the way this camera interprets light. The grain is organic, not the digital noise we've learned to hate, but something closer to the structure of 35mm film. It feels tactile, emotional, and completely natural. You look at your footage in post and realize it doesn't need saving. It just needs shaping. Editors and colorists are already whispering about it online. The way Nikon ZR files hold together under pressure. Push your shadows, recover your highlights, stretch your midtones. It all just works. There's no breakage, no weird magenta tint, no crush blacks. The footage holds its integrity, its warmth, its story. When you color grade it, you don't fight the file, you dance with it. That's the beauty of 12-bit RED RAW. It's not just numbers. It's a soul upgrade. A new kind of creative freedom for people who care about nuance. This isn't about chasing specs. It's about chasing emotion. And Nikon, for the first time in a long while, has nailed that balance between technology and artistry. But what truly sets the ZR apart isn't just the image. It's the experience of creating it. The workflow has been designed with a modern creator in mind. Whether you're editing on a high-end workstation or a MacBook on the go, playback is buttery smooth. Even with temporal noise reduction enabled in DaVinci Resolve, the files glide like water. No lag, no stutter, just creativity flowing at your pace. Nikon's engineers have quietly optimized this camera not just for performance, but for reliability. It feels like a cinema tool built by photographers who know what it's like to lose a shot because of a technical hiccup. And speaking of reliability, overheating, that dreaded villain of mirrorless filmmaking, doesn't stand a chance here. The ZR runs cool, efficient, and quiet even during long takes. Its redesigned cooling system channels heat away from the core, meaning you can shoot that entire documentary interview or wedding sequence without worrying about forced shutdowns. It's built to last through your longest stories. Now let's talk about autofocus, because this right here might be Nikon's biggest leap forward. For years, Nikon's AF systems have been good, reliable, but not always cinematic. The ZR changes that. It doesn't just lock focus, it transitions with elegance. You tap on a subject and the focus glides. Not jerky, not robotic, but deliberate, almost human. It's like having a professional focus puller working beside you. That's the difference between a camera that reacts and a camera that understands. The ZR feels like it knows what you want before you finish deciding. It's intelligent without being intrusive, fast without being frantic. This alone changes how filmmakers approach their craft. You no longer have to worry about missed focus or hunting. You can stay immersed in your story, confident that the camera will keep up. And then there's the screen. Oh, that screen. It's not just brighter, it's alive. A full 4-inch DCI P3 touch display with up to 1000 nits of brightness. Outdoor shooting? To the sun? No problem. No more squinting or guessing. Every color, every line, every tone is visible, accurate, and bold. But beyond its brightness, it's the responsiveness that stands out. Nikon has finally built a touchscreen that feels like a flagship smartphone. Gestures are smooth. Menus respond instantly. The interface doesn't feel like a menu, it feels like an ecosystem. The touchscreen isn't just an accessory anymore. It's the heart of control. Nikon stripped away unnecessary buttons and dials, giving users a modern digital experience without sacrificing professional depth. Everything important is still there: exposure mode, ISO, but it's arranged intelligently, logically, and beautifully. You can create custom modes for different shooting environments, like 6K RED RAW for cinematic sequences or 10-bit internal recording for fast-paced run-and-gun work, and switch between them with a single tap. The ergonomics have also evolved. The ZR's design philosophy is simplicity meets strength. It's compact yet unshakably solid, lightweight yet durable. The power switch glows subtly in low light, a detail that's both functional and strangely elegant. Every dial has purpose, every grip feels sculpted. Nikon didn't just design a camera. They crafted an experience that becomes second nature. And let's talk about flexibility, because that's where this camera earns its crown. For $2,200, the ZR sits in a sweet spot between enthusiast and professional territory, yet it manages to challenge cameras twice its price. You can strip it down for travel, lightweight vlogging, or handheld documentary work. Or you can rig it out: cage, SSD, shotgun mic, follow focus, matte box, and it suddenly transforms into a mini cinema monster. It's not exaggeration to say the ZR bridges two worlds: the simplicity of mirrorless photography and the ambition of cinema. It's built for both the YouTuber who dreams big and the filmmaker who wants to downsize without compromise. Nikon understands that modern creators don't just shoot photos or videos. They tell stories across platforms, across formats. And this camera was built for that new breed of storyteller. What's even more impressive is how the ecosystem is already adapting. Third-party brands like SmallRig, Tilta, and Condor Blue have jumped on the ZR train early, creating cages, handles, and accessories tailored to it. Nikon even bundles an official cage option right from launch, a move that screams confidence in how this camera will be used. The accessory market is treating it not like a niche device, but a core tool in a new era of hybrid cinematography. In the real world, creators are already switching systems for it. Sony FX30 owners, Canon R6 users, even some Blackmagic shooters, all curious, all intrigued. And once they test it, many don't go back. Why? Because the ZR offers what those cameras sometimes forget: soul. That indefinable character that makes your footage feel like you. Now, here's the secret Nikon isn't shouting about. This camera isn't just about features. It's about accessibility. It's about democratizing the cinematic look without breaking your wallet. It's for the small studio owner, the music video director, the travel filmmaker, the content creator who craves cinema quality but doesn't have Hollywood's budget. Nikon built this not to compete with giants, but to empower artists. The ZR is what happens when engineering meets empathy. It's a camera that doesn't overwhelm you with complexity, but quietly inspires you to create. It's forgiving, it's intuitive, and above all, it's human. You can feel it in every frame. The way it treats color, the way it balances highlights, the way it responds when you push it to the limit. It doesn't just record light, it records intention. Its cooling system, its power efficiency, its modular adaptability. Everything has been crafted to give creators control. You can record long sessions without overheating, transfer large RED RAW files with ease, and power external monitors or SSDs directly. It's the kind of thoughtful engineering that comes from listening to real filmmakers, not just testing labs. The dynamic range on this camera is another quiet triumph. Shadow detail stays clean, highlight roll-off is graceful, and there's a gentle fall-off that feels cinematic. When you expose for skin tones, everything else just falls into place. It's predictable in the best way. You can trust it. Even more, Nikon has integrated some new digital tools directly into the firmware: waveform monitors, false color exposure assist, focus peaking improvements, and real-time LUT previews. This is the kind of functionality that used to live only in $5,000 cinema rigs, now available to anyone willing to pick up the ZR. And let's talk about motion. The rolling shutter control is phenomenal, almost negligible in 6K capture. Pans stay stable, vertical lines stay true. This opens doors for handheld documentary work, drone mounting, even gimbal-free setups. Combined with in-body stabilization that rivals top-tier competitors, the ZR becomes a weapon for any creative environment. Battery life has quietly improved, too. In a world where most hybrid cameras struggle to last through a full day of mixed shooting, the ZR holds strong. Efficient power draw, smart sleep management, and USB-C PD support mean you can keep it alive longer without a mess of accessories. It's a simple detail, but in real production, it's everything. All these technical feats aside, the ZR's true power lies in its storytelling DNA. When you see the images it produces, the skin texture, the natural contrast, the way light wraps around subjects, you understand what Nikon was aiming for. It's not about competing on spec sheets anymore. It's about emotion. It's about connection. It's about creating tools that let people fall back in love with the craft. That's why so many professionals are calling it the people's cinema camera. It bridges generations. It's a return to fundamentals, where gear serves art, not the other way around. And that's what Nikon wants you to feel, even if they'll never say it outright. Because the truth Nikon doesn't want to say too loudly is this: the ZR isn't a reaction to competitors. It's a declaration, a quiet revolution that says, we remember what cameras are supposed to be. It's not perfect, and it doesn't need to be. It just needs to inspire. The Nikon ZR is not about specs on paper. It's about impact in motion. It's not about proving dominance. It's about proving relevance. In an era where creativity is currency, this camera might just be Nikon's biggest contribution in decades. It doesn't scream innovation. It whispers timelessness. And that whisper is louder than any launch event. So when you pick it up for the first time, don't think about what it replaces. Think about what it represents. Freedom, kraft, vision. The Nikon ZR is a love letter to creators, to those who see the world not as pixels and numbers, but as light, shadow, and story. And that's the secret Nikon doesn't need to say out loud, because you'll feel it the moment you hit record.